What's up? I have an iPhone 12, 11 Pro here that has no power. Nothing on the display. Plug it in, and I get zero point 0.6 amps on the USB ammeter. I plug it into my DC power supply, and I also get 0.7, 0.6 amps. Immediate draw. All right. So what that usually tells me is when you plug it in and you don't prompt it to boot by pushing the power button or anything like that, or you don't plug the lightning port in and it just draws power. Usually it tells me that it's probably something related to the Vdd main, which is the main power line. In this case, if it's let's see. So generally, if it's VDD main, right, on the DC power supply, then it'll be full 2 amps. Depending on whatever you set your max amps to be on your DC power supply. In this case, it's only 0.7, so it's not drawing the maximum power. It's only drawing partial maximum current. Sorry. So what that tells me is that it's most likely not VDD main and more likely Vdd Boost, which is a sub power line of VDD main. Okay, and I think Vdd Boost is related to the audio, but I'm not positive on that. Okay, so anyways, so this is an iPhone 11 Pro. First thing I do is I just go to ZXW tools and look for VDD main. That's first thing I always do is just look for VDD main. I don't know exactly where it is. On the other iterations of the iPhones, I pretty much know where to check, which is usually like the backlight anode line. I know this is, if you're new to this, then this is gonna be going over your head. But if you've done this before, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so VDD main is the main power line. That's usually what's shorted, especially if you're getting an amp draw on the USB ammeter or DC power supply on initial plug-in. Okay, easiest way to test VDD main is to use your multimeter to test the anode line for the backlight system. All right, which is in pretty much every. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. It's in every iPhone with an LCD. With OLEDs, it's a little bit different. Okay, and this 11 Pro has a OLED screen, so it doesn't actually have an anode line. So confusing, especially if you're just starting off. All right. Anyways, easiest way, just go to ZXW tools and look for PP VDD main. You can select it from the bottom here, and this shows you where the points for VDD main are. Okay, so I just stuck my multimeter on this point right here and tested it, and it's fine. Usually you'll get somewhere between 0.3 and 0.34 volts in diode mode. Okay, so that's fine. So next thing I do is I just go to VDD Boost, since that was my initial suspicion anyways. I can probably just check it instead of VDD main, but I like to just kind of go through the steps. I almost always check VDD main first. So for VDD Boost, you don't really have to even disassemble the logic board in order to test it, nor do you have to remove any shields or anything like that. You do have to remove this black foam that covers all this stuff, but if you just go to the top of the logic board here, there are a few points that you can check to see if it's shorted or not. Okay, so here we go. I don't know why it's a little bit blurry. Let's see if I can get it a little bit. I've been meaning to upgrade my camera system for ages now, but I just have it mainly because I haven't really made too many videos lately. By the way, if anybody has any tips on how to get a 3-month-old baby to sleep in her crib, go ahead and make a comment, because we're struggling. Anyways, I digress. So I forgot which one it was now. So okay, so you got a little LDO here, and you just go to the left of that. That's VDD Boost. Okay, so let's just go back to. So this is the LDO that we were talking about earlier, and I'm just going to stick my red lead on the ground, which is also the top of this NAND chip right here. And I'll just test this point right here. So on the multimeter it says 0.003. You know what? I see these people with the multimeter readings on the screen. I think there's some sort of, I don't know how it works, but anyways, I should probably do a little more research on that. That might be a little more helpful. Anyways, so I'll test both sides of this capacitor, okay, and I should get 0 on both sides, which I do, which confirms my suspicion that Vdd Boost is shorted. Okay, so now let's go back to ZXW tools here, okay, and just by looking at these capacitors, I can already tell that they're not shorted, okay, and there's probably one here, that's probably also not shorted. Other than that, there's really nothing else on the top front of this logic board that could be shorted. So most likely the issue is going to be, it's going to be on the other side of the sandwich here, unfortunately. So it's going to be on the other side of the sandwich right here, and most likely it's going to be one of these big caps, okay, so this is going to be fairly simple because, look, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big caps here. So it's going to be, most likely it's going to be one of those, okay? And so unfortunately we're going to have to de-sandwich the boards and then re-sandwich them, which is always a doozy. Always a mother effing doozy. Okay, so let's see. While I get things ready to unsandwich, let's see if I can take this board out real quick. There you go. All right, let me just. I'm gonna switch it over to the other camera, and then so you guys can kind of see, and then I'll just kind of ramble a little bit about business. Look at this Harding camera. Anyways, I actually started using this one from now on. This is a cheaper version of the Mechanic IX5 preheater, and I don't know, it's just a lot simpler. And I'll tell you the big reason about this the big problem with the IX5 is that this thing is not grounded. Actually, this one's not grounded either, but this one actually made a logic board explode. Hold on a second. This is the IX5, okay, and I put some Capdom on it because somehow this thing shorted out somehow, and I don't know what happened, but I don't think this thing is grounded properly, and I don't know why they put metal up here, but it freaking exploded one of the logic boards, so I stopped using it. Not to mention that this is so much simpler too. It's just got 5 holes, and you just pick 2 holes, and it fits just about everything. I haven't tried it on 12 yet, so it may not work on 12, but definitely works on this one. And it's just simple. It's just simple. It's just as hot, and it's a little bit smaller, And so, anyways, so if you're hesitant about using it, I've been using this one forever now. So, okay, so. Not much to it, just pick 2 holes, like I said. See, it just fits. Wait about 10-15 minutes and then pop it off. And then and then we go from there. So, I don't know, I feel like things have been slow just in general, just all around. I've been slow, mainly because due to lack of sleep. And I don't really follow a lot of people on YouTube anymore in terms of microsoldering, so I don't know if people are still going strong or what the hell is going on. But I don't see as much activity on the microsoldering Facebook groups, so I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if this thing is dying or what's going on. I know the 12 is pretty tough to repair, the 12 Pros and all that stuff. So I know that business has definitely been slower, just in general, which is fine. It's fine with me because my time is limited at this point anyways. What else? I don't think there's much else about business. I think business-wise, let's see. Last year actually ended up fine. Actually, it was probably on the better side of fine, comparatively speaking, compared to the previous few years. Mainly because there are other sources of revenue now related to the business, which I'm not really going to get into because it's kind of like SEO keywords. Like you don't really tell other people your the keywords that you're working on, because then they'll freaking optimize for it, and then they'll take your keywords, and then you'll be screwed. Like keywords are pretty you hold them pretty tight to yourself. So in terms of business revenues, definitely, I think people just have to be a little bit creative, and experiment a little bit with any business, not just microsoldering. So things have been fine, and I definitely have more free time now, which I actually enjoy. But I actually have this guy that has some ant miners, which are crypto. I don't even know if they're Ethereum or what the hell they are, but he's got a ton of these broken Antminer S17 boards that he wants repaired. I don't know a damn thing about them, but the times are changing a little bit. Cryptocurrencies are at the forefront right now. I don't know for how long, but definitely the latest and greatest technology, the latest greatest hype, and tons of money in it. So if you're, I don't know, man. If you're bored of fixing iPhones, man, get into fixing these boards maybe, and you gotta adapt with the times, man. So okay, so this sucker's been heating for a little bit now. I don't know why my camera's a little bit shitty here, but let's see if it's good yet. So just be really careful taking this sucker off, because there we go. I like to just grab one of these corners, especially where it's ground, so I don't muck with it. Alright, so simple kapimple. Let's just put this aside. I just leave the heater on, okay? Fuckers are really hot. I always like burn myself on them. So just be careful. And then flip it over, and let's just confirm that Vdd Boost is short on this side, not the other side, okay? So let's see. Let's just orient this the right way. Actually, I think it's on the other side. No, hold up. No, this is the right side. Okay, so this is the right side. Let's just go to the other camera. Alright, so we're just going to test these right here just to confirm that Vdd Boost is short. I'm almost certain it's on this side, because there's nothing on the other side. So multimeter and diode mode. I think it's these right here. I'm not positive, but I'm just going to double check these caps right here. 0, 0, 0. Oops, that's 37, so that's not it. 0, 37. Huh, interesting. 0, 0. Okay, so anyways, sometimes I like playing the game of like just trying to figure out which cap it is before I apply the freeze spray to it. Sometimes you can kind of tell. So we got 1 in the corner here, we got 4 here, and then we got 1 next to that one. Okay, so let's just go back to the camera here and let's see if we can find which one it is. Okay, so let's just dig a little deeper. Alright, so okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to find it. Alright, let's see if I can get a crisper picture. Okay, so let's see. This one, it looks pretty good. I'm going to say no. Oh, see? I'm going to guess this one. See, look, brown, brown, brown. And this one's got like little dots on it, man. See that? It's got little dots on it, little black dots. You can barely see it, but it's got little black dots. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit, see if you guys can get a better picture of it. You probably can't see it on this shitty camera, but there's like little black dots on it. And let's go up to this one up here. See, this one looks fine too. I think it's, well, it's one of these two. I don't know, this one or that one, I don't know. But anyways, my bet's on this one, okay? So let's just bust out the freeze spray here and test this mother. Let me just make sure that that is one. Okay, so I'm just going to test like one of these 2 points. So, get the freeze spray out. I'm going to get my DC power supply. Make sure you're running 2 amps through it, maximum. And then I'm going to hook the red lead of my DC power supply to ground. And let's just test it real quick, just to make sure. That is... Just need to make sure that I am on ground. Okay, so now I'm on ground. So let's just get to this right here. Alright, place your bets right now. I'll give you guys 2-to-1 odds on this, alright? 2-to-1 odds. By the way, sports betting is legal in Virginia now. It's pretty silly. Cryptos and sports betting, that's what everybody's doing these days, right? Okay, okay, so I kind of slept on the job a little bit there. Alright, so freeze spray, gotta be quick on it. And then let's just douse. See that? Bam! Where's my money? Where's my money, huh? Where's my money? If you guys said the other ones, you guys lost. See that? Who needs freeze spray, man? Come on. Come on. Come on. See that right there? You know, a guy called me up like a few weeks ago. Well, he sent me his phone. He's from Canada, okay? He's like, oh yeah, man, my phone won't power on. He did off it. Same story, different day. And so you know, I give him the quote, whatever, and he sends it to me. It takes forever from Canada. I mean, sorry, I'm drinking some coffee right now, but so he sends it to me. Whatever, 10 days later, I get the phone, and I open it up. You know, it's just a basic VDD main short, similar to this one. And so I fix it, and I, you know, probably send it back a day or two after I receive it. So I think, I don't know if he got it back or not, but he calls me and he's like, oh yeah, so what happened to it? And I was like, well, you know, there's a short on the main power line, yada yada yada. And then ultimately he was like, how long did it take you? I was like, well, you know, I mean, if you know what you're doing, then basically I told him like 15 minutes total, you know. And you know, I don't care, you know. Yes, it took me 15 minutes to freaking fix this damn thing. I don't give a fuck, man. You know, I charged 100 and whatever, 35 or something like that for it. So let's just confirm this is shorted, and indeed it is shorted. So it took me 15 minutes to do it, you know. And I don't know, I mean, come on. Should you really be ashamed of charging somebody to fix something? Charging somebody so much to fix something when it only takes you 15 minutes to do it? I don't think so, because you know, it took me a long time to learn how to do this, right? And if you think you could do it for less, then have at it, you know. So anyways, okay, I feel a little guilty, but not that much. Especially sometimes when I'm sitting here and I spend like hours on a phone and get nowhere with it. So anyways, next, so that's the easy part right there. I'm just going to go around here just to make sure that these little discs right here aren't shorting anything out. And that they're intact. Put a little bit of flux on this. dang it. I'm making a mess out of that. Yeah, bullshit. Oh my god. I'm making a mess out of that. Oh my god, man. You know what? Let me just... Let me get this right here and see if I can... Come on, dude. Big fucking blob of solder. Okay, you don't really want to lose this disc here, so let's just make sure we protect it. But I don't want all this fucking solder. See, this is the hardest part right here, man. Oh my god, oh my god. Anybody else on TikTok? I've been trying to figure out how to monetize, not monetize, but market on TikTok forever now for microsoldering. And it seems like it's just way too much work, man. I'm not editing videos. But I'm on TikTok all the time, man. It's got a lot of great info on there. There's some dude from the UK, like Eye Doctor or something like that. He's the only guy that I've seen that shows up in my feed. Anyways, okay, let me just finish this before I start keep yapping here. So you just want to make sure these little discs are all around, okay? And I'm actually going to clean this with a Q-tip. I don't always do this, but I just want to make sure that, okay, like for the most part, most of these are pretty good. You just want to touch up the ones that have like no solder or cold solder joints on them. So, anyways, I'm gonna go through the entire board and then just to make sure. But I don't even think I've checked Vdd Boost yet to make sure that the short is gone for certain. Sometimes there's two caps bad. And then you put it back together and you're like, what the hell? Okay, so you just want to make it sure as clean as possible. You don't want this black shit right here. You don't want that in the middle of that because then you're just in trouble. Okay, so let's just go around this thing and then I realized that you can actually use just regular 6337 solder paste, or just solder really, to touch these up. Before I was using like this shitty low melt, or 148 degree low melt, 158, one of those, it doesn't matter. And it's just like dirty, man. It's just very dirty, and it had like black shit all over it. And I find that this Kester solder is pretty clean. And anyways, you don't really need low melt solder for the middle layer, especially if you're just touching it up. Alright, so basically what you're looking for is just solder pads that are either missing solder or have very, very, very little solder. I don't really see anything. All these, like, maybe like that right here, but these are probably just, ground pads anyway, so it's not like a huge deal. So when you're doing this, just make sure that you don't God, shitty. Oh no, that is bad. God. See that right there? Mother effer. That was a ground pad that exploded. Just be careful when you're using these. Alright, you just run a little bit. You don't want to be like, I mean, I probably didn't even really need to touch that one up, but then I got a little bit excited, and no, it was too much. Anyways, I'm not gonna touch that anymore. That's good enough for me. but I do need to clean that up a little bit. Okay, not too much solder, otherwise it's going to bridge, so just, especially these fucking round pads. Okay. God. This is the hardest part right here, getting all this shit back together. Okay, so get all the lint. Not mandatory, but probably better. Before we forget, let's just test this, just to make sure that the short is gone. .379 volts. Okay, it's gone. Okay, so we're just going to go around the board, just make sure that there's a little bit of solder on each of these pads, just so that we can get a nice little joint. Re-sandwich, get a nice little re-sandwich. Okay, so let's see. I think it's good. I think this side is good. So my other side's been heating this whole time. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring it back here, and then same thing on this side. I think so. If you're careful removing the board, then you're not gonna have as much work to do, you know. But if you're like not gentle with it, or you like decide that you wanna you know, whatever, take off all the solder and re-ball it, then you're just gonna have way more work than you want. So what I'm doing now is I'm just putting a little bit of flux all around it, okay? Because the flux is gonna be it's gonna be mandatory to get this thing back on. So I'm just going around it with a big ball of flux and just touching it up. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back around here, and you see these pads right here, they're kind of missing. They're like they just have so very little solder on it that it's just concerning for me. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm just going to go ahead and touch it up. Oh no. Oh. Damn it. You want to do this stuff before you re-sandwich it, otherwise, you know, you get your unsandwich, re-sandwich. Pain in the ass. So sometimes you have to do it anyways, but so just go around here and just make sure you add a little bit of solder to the joints that have no solder or have very little solder. And make sure you don't muck with the discs, okay? The discs are important. They're spacers. Like, all these have so very little solder, man. I'm a little bit concerned about them, but I think I might just do that, actually. Like, I think I'm just going to go like this. You can do this, but just make sure that you don't do it to the ones with discs on them. It's better to spend the time to do this now than to re-sandwich it later. Oh no. Whew. Okay. This whole row right here just has like very little solder. Look, a lot less solder than I'd like. I'll just say that. That I'm comfortable with. So, and I don't really see any disc anywhere, so I don't know why that is. Okay, I think these all look good. So I think I'm just gonna go. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go. So there's not a whole lot to my method here. Let me just look at my. Make sure it's clean here. I'll put it back on. Okay. Okay, that's pretty clean. Second inspection. Okay, so not a whole lot to this. Fuck. Second time I've done that. Just make sure it's clean. And there's not a whole lot to it. Just be as careful as possible. That's what it comes down to. Okay, so I just do that, and then I just kind of look under the scope here. Alright, you're not going to see it, but I just look under the scope and just make sure that things are fairly aligned. They don't have to be perfect, but you don't want any big gaps. So it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Okay, once you're satisfied with everything, it doesn't have to be perfect, like I said. Then I just kind of go like this with it a little bit, and just kind of push down. Just go around the board and push down and get that initial contact. Good amount of pressure. You know, those spacers are going to help it, not bridge basically. So okay, so once you're content with that, then I actually get these two little knuckleheads right here, these things right here, and then I go like this. Just be very careful, and you only have like a few seconds really, so go like this. Just push down. And put a good amount of pressure on this sucker. Try not to do too much to it. Good amount of pressure. Usually the corners kind of bend up, so like that right there. Make sure you get all sides. And like I said, it just takes just a few seconds for this thing to solidify, so you don't have a whole lot of time. Okay, quite a bit of pressure. Alright, should be good. So let's turn this sucker off. Turn my smoke off. And then we'll inspect it under the scope here. This thing is still very hot. Don't know what that is, but like, look, it's pretty good. Look, it's pretty good. No gaps really. Yeah, it's pretty good all the way around. So I'm pretty content with this one. So I just hope it works. So I'm just gonna remove the flux from the sides. See, there's like a little bit of a gap there. You see that? So that's not perfect, but I think it should be okay. Okay, so let's test it now. I'm just going to use his housing because I don't think his housing was bad to begin with. You know what? Yeah, you know what? Let's just check VDD main real quick, sorry. You're not going to be able to see it, but... Okay, 3.5, it's good. 2.8. Alright, so I think we're good. So I was getting the normal readings on Vdd main and Vdd Boost. Okay, everything's good. I'm just going to assume everything works, so I'm just going to connect all these so that it'll be less work later. The hell? Oh. Alright, the moment of truth is truth. The moment of truth. Plug it in. Okay. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! It's charging at 2.5 amps, that's a good sign. I think I'll probably just, as soon as it boots up, I'll just end it. You can see my Harting camera here. Right here, right here. Bam! Alright, let's call the Uber on this. TouchWorks, call the Uber. Alright, thanks for watching. iPhone 11 Pro, no power repair. Peace out. Start to finish. I just wanted to say thank you for watching our YouTube channel. We make these videos to help you guys learn how to do micro soldering for normal repairs. I want to take this time to promote our online course here. We created an online course hosted at udemy.com. If you go directly to Udemy, it's $150. If you go through microsoldering.com, click on store shop, and then click on this first product right here, there's a coupon code that gives you $50 off of our online course. So our online course, it was created by Tom and myself. It contains 4.5 to 5 hours of online video instruction. It'll teach you everything that you need to know to get started with micro soldering. So basically, we start with the basics, just the component level, how to use ZXW tools, how to set up your tools, what kind of tools you need, how to set up your hot air rework stations, use your micro pencil and tweezers and DC power supply and all that stuff. And then we go into actual repairs. So the four most common problems are no backlight, no touch, no charge, and loop disease. And with the newer versions of the iPhones, we also have a section on logic board separation, because with the 10 and up, the logic boards come in two pieces. So we also have a section on how to separate them and put them back together. And then our last section is all about data recovery. So this is it's 4.5 hours of just good stuff just to help you get started. Okay, and with the way that cell phone repair is going these days, I think it's essential to learn how to do microsoldering for your business. If you're interested, like I said, just go to the website here, microsoldering.com, and click on Store Shop, and then click on this right here, and you'll get $50 off. So thank you for watching our channel, and hopefully you'll enjoy the course. Thank you.